Today on CCX News, the year in business. From new stores to emotional endings to ones that are truly unique. Fans of sports cards and memorabilia learned some difficult news when the longtime owner of Papa Hawk's Sports and Collectibles in Golden Valley told us about his plans to retire. I took a look at what's next for the place that's part store, part museum.
I've pretty much always kind of been called Papa Hawk.
Sometimes a hobby can turn into a full-fledged career.
Faber got in his first fight, ended up in a box.
Really?
Good for him.
That's certainly the case when it comes to Mark Hochstetter, the longtime owner of Papa Hawk's Sports and Collectibles.
I bought my first pack of cards probably in 1956 for a penny.
From that first pack of cards, his collection grew. Then it grew some more. He eventually decided to retire from his corporate job with McDonald's and turn his attention to sports card and memorabilia shows.
And finally, one day we rented some space, put a sign up, and here we are.
That was about 14 years ago. Today, he's amassed a collection of 3,000 autographed baseballs, hundreds of framed photos, and 2.5 million cards.
A lot of memories here. It's almost like a museum.
However, Hochstetter says this museum will soon be entering a permanent off-season.
I'm in my early 70s. It's time to spend more time with my family, do some traveling with my wife, and if I wait much longer, who knows?
With the lease up in February, he's planning to slash prices and sell everything in the store piece by piece.
Maybe we'll get lucky and somebody will come in and buy it all. But otherwise, we'll sell it all. We'll keep selling on eBay, keep pushing stuff out that way.
Clearance mode will kick in sometime in the next 30 to 60 days. While this may be the end of an era, it's been a fun career.
Hey, not too many people can say that they ended their working career doing what they loved.
Hochstetter says the store will likely be closed by February 1st, but if you have any interest in buying the store outright, to give him a call. There's also some unfortunate news for a longtime family-owned pizza place in the area. Scoreboard Pizza in Brooklyn Center closed in the fall. It was located in the Humboldt Square strip mall. The restaurant had been in business for 40 years. There was some exciting news about new business ventures too. One of them involves the fast-growing sport of pickleball. The city of Plymouth received plans for a massive new pickleball facility. A business called Pure Pickleball Club is planning 19 courts across 48,000 square feet in a warehouse building in the southern part of the city. The facility is tentatively scheduled to open in early 2025. 2024 also celebrated a new option for pastries and other fresh baked goods in Maple Grove. A French-Asian bakery called Tous les Jours celebrated its grand opening in the shops at Arbor Lakes. This is the franchise's second store in Minnesota and has plans to add stores in Plymouth and in Maplewood. Maple Grove has the second highest concentration of retail and entertainment space in the metro next to Bloomington. The northwest suburbs saw other new business openings too.
We are very, very excited to be here. It's just been so wonderful in the Maple Grove community. Everybody is just so welcoming and kind and excited for us, so that's been encouraging.
Mama's Happy opened in the fall along Main Street in Maple Grove. The boutique features clothing, refinished furniture, home decor, and items from local artists. City officials say it's one of 10 new businesses to open in 2024.
When the pandemic came around and we started to see some businesses start to close or reduce their size, it gave us pause, and we wanted to make some reinvestments back in the community here on Main Street. We did a project over COVID where we completely refaced the street, planted new trees, put in new street furniture. And so it's just really great to kind of see the outcome of some of this reinvestment with all these new businesses coming back to Maple Grove.
Maple Grove hasn't seen this many openings all at once since before COVID. The popularity of Lego continues to reign supreme. We gathered further proof of that this year as the brand has its own place right here in the Northwest Metro.
Hello, welcome in, you guys.
Some toys transcend generations.
I would say timeless and classic, both.
Awesome. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to ask any one of us with a name tag.
And in a strip mall near the Plymouth and Minnetonka border,
We're probably the best kept secret in the West Metro.
There's a store that will appeal to kids
Thanks so much for coming in. Have a wonderful day.
and those who are kids at heart.
Once they step in, it is like a trip down memory lane. They see all the old retired sets that we have. They're like, I had this when I was a kid.
Stephen Olan is the manager of Bricks and Minifigs,
So this is the monorail.
a store devoted entirely to the world of Lego.
It grew from just a couple stores to now over 100 nationwide. Star Wars is a huge draw.
The store has Lego sets from Star Wars to Marvel to pirate ships,
They got tables of bulk, new sets, retired sets.
and it has more minifigures than a person can count, including the incredibly hard to find ones.
You have this Boba Fett priced at $130 because he came from the Betrayal at Cloud City.
But if you talk to the customers and staff members, you'll realize it's much more than a place to buy and sell Legos.
It's more community oriented than any other hobby. Lego is this vast community of people that share their art, what they're creating, and people can kind of glean ideas off of each other.
That sense of community has turned Bricks and Minifigs into a thriving franchise.
We have a variety of assorted pieces, vintage pieces.
There is also the fact that Lego generally doesn't depreciate in value because there's a huge collector's market,
You almost always should be selling it for more than what you bought it for.
giving people the option of assembling a classic set or creating something completely new.
It's just a real dream to be here.
This particular Lego store is located on Ridgedale Drive in the Ridge Square South Strip, kitty corner from Ridgedale Mall.
As we wind down to the end of 2024, it's time to look back at some of the top CCX Sports Spotlight stories from the year. In September, we profiled Champlin Park senior Reese Axness, one of the top volleyball players in the state.
A center is a take-charge position in volleyball. On most points, it's the one player who always gets a touch on the ball. For Champlin Park, that player is Reese Axness. The senior is right in the middle of the action on the court.
She's a student of the game. She's always talking about, watching film or, and then having her mom as a volleyball coach as well. It's always around, so she can bounce questions and stuff off of her and whatever else. So there's some volleyball thought there, but she's always been a high IQ kid in all the other sports she's played too, but definitely a hard worker and a great leader.
A four-year starter for the Rebels, Reese can see the growth in her own game.
I think for sure my confidence and my competitiveness, my swag, I guess you could say. I like to bring the energy, and I think that's improved from I used to be really timid, especially my freshman and sophomore year, and I kind of grew into who I am today.
Axness is the latest in a line of outstanding setters in Champlin Park history, a group that includes high school and collegiate All-Americans Sydney Hilly and Izzy Ashburn.
When Izzy, Emma, and Katie were here, I went to almost all the games I could. I remember I did fall league for Synergy, and I'd come after every practice. They were my biggest role models for sure back then.
And Reese has been around the sport much of her life. Her mom, Allison, is in her 9th year as a Champlin Park assistant coach.
It's super unique to have my mom. Not many people get to be coached by their mom. It's a sport they love. Have her on the sideline whenever I'm down, I can go talk to her. She's super encouraging. She's always got the energy. It's super fun to have alongside.
When you're coaching, it's kind of a dream to have coach your daughter and just to have her in the program, and then to have a successful program to be a part of is also just it's been overall just really, really awesome.
Our volleyball knowledge is great. We see things the same way most of the time, but sometimes she has a different eye on things that'll be let's look at it that way kind of thing. So, but yeah, it's hard to believe it's been 9 years. Like we said, time flies when we're having fun.
We talk about volleyball, at home maybe a little bit, but it's not like our life is 24/7 talking volleyball or anything like that. We turn it off when we get to a certain point, and it's all right, she is my daughter, not just my volleyball player.
The sport extends beyond Reese and Allison. Al played at Crookston High School, where her mom, Reese's grandmother, was a coach. A 3-sport athlete at North Dakota State University, Jackie Lindsay was recently inducted into the Crookston High School Hall of Fame, and yet another person in the family for Reese to talk volleyball with.
I like talking to both of them, but my grandma, she played in college, my mom didn't. But the rules have changed since then, and there's a lot of differences, so it's kind of fun to compare and contrast the differences and similarities.
Reese has accepted a volleyball scholarship to Ball State University in Indiana. where she says she'll likely major in business. Right now, though, the focus for Reese is on Champlin Park, where later this fall, this talented Rebels group will try to earn the program's first section title since the 2018 team won state.
Our section's always really good. I mean, YZ is always, they always put something together. Maple Grove's always good, they're always tough, but this year I feel like there's definitely a shot for sure, so I'm excited to see what happens.
Reese and her Champlin Park teammates did indeed win the Section 5 4A title, rallying to beat Maple Grove in 5 sets. The Rebels then won their first 2 matches at state before losing to Lakeville South in 5 in the championship match. Axness was named All-State this season. For the CCX Sports Spotlight, I'm John Jacobson.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.